Hey guys, what's up? This is Mario here, bringing you guys another video, and today we're going to be going over the recent leaked image and the recent leaked Destiny DLC that was supposedly put onto the internet. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this, and so here we go. So just in case you have no idea what I'm talking about with all this new leaked DLC, and why you guys should be excited about this if you are a Destiny fan, is simply because this image, which you see on screen right now, was put on the internet, which, in case you can't tell, basically shows all of the content that Destiny will be getting, the first game, anyways. Now, the reason why I believe this image to be real is because it is really low quality, which means it was probably taken with some sort of phone or video, like, horrible, like, quality camera, which makes it seem more legit. I mean, I don't know why, if it was photoshopped, why they do it in such low quality, maybe just to, like, you know, fool us, but anyways, and there's obviously people's heads in the ways. I don't think they'd paste people's heads in the ways or anything like that. I think they'd, like, show us all of the content if that was the case. But anyways, let's actually get into what all this content is. So let's obviously start off with what we already have. So on September 9th, 2014, of course, the first game of Destiny was released. With this, we got 20 story missions, 6 new strikes, 4 patrol missions, a new raid, 7 PvP game modes, and 12 PvP maps. So that's what we got with the new, base game. That was the very first thing. No buy any expansions. That was what you got. Now, on December 9th of 2014, The Dark Below launched, which was Destiny's first expansion pack. And with this came 3 new story missions, 2 new strikes, a new raid, and 3 PvP maps. So, a bit of content. It wasn't, like, loads. It's not as much as most people were expecting. But it was some new content, and it was quite fun, to be honest, because the story missions linked in with all the quests, and it was quite a nice expansion, in my opinion. But now we move on to the more interesting parts of this image, which is the fact that the House of Wolves and this giant comet that we'll get to soon has, like, a release date on it, and it has all of the content that we're going to be getting in the DLC packs. So let's go on to the House of Wolves, which we all know is the name of Destiny's second expansion pack. A tiny bit of information was released or leaked from a glitch ages ago in the game as to what would this pack would contain. But from this image, it appears that we'll be getting 3 new story missions, a brand new strike, a brand new raid, and 4 PvP maps. So that's what's coming with the House of Wolves. As long as this image is real, like I said, this could just be entirely fake. But I highly doubt it, just because of the image's quality. That's literally all I'm going off of to call it legit. Again, overall, this might not be what you guys were hoping for, but if you guys were hoping for something new, the raid, as far as we know, will be set in a playable part of the reef. So you'll be able to play in the actual reef, which is kind of cool in my opinion, because the reef was a pretty damn cool looking place. And I believe you'll have to fight the Fallen, of course. This is going to be a Fallen raid. And now we get onto the most interesting part of this leak by far, which is this giant Comet sort of DLC stuck in the middle with a picture of the actual game box. And if you can make it out, I believe the name of this comet is called Plague of Darkness, which some of you guys might not have noted or seen or anything like that. But there's also a release date for this Comet expansion, and it says September 2015. So we're going to be getting this a year after Destiny's launch. I would hope on September 9th, maybe. But of course, the PlayStation Store update's on a Tuesday, so it will probably be on a Tuesday on the week of September 9th. But anyways, that's not the cool part, what date it's coming out. The cool part is the fact that this Comet is basically a gigantic expansion for Destiny. I believe you'll have to pay more than the usual expansion price, so it's $20 for just the expansion, or $35 for the expansion pass. You'll probably have to pay a bit more because of the fact that this expansion is really big. With this expansion, of course, you guys probably want to know what you're going to get with it. You're going to get 12 new story missions, 4 new strikes, a new patrol mission, a new raid, another PvP game mode, which at the minute I believe to be the Trials of Osiris. But I'm not too sure on that. It might just be like Capture the Flag or something. We are getting 6 new PvP maps, and now these last 4 things is where it gets interesting. The first thing is that there'll be a new location added. So it's not the reef, it's not one we've already explored. In fact, at the minute it is called Hive Ship. It's a bit of a weird name. I believe, of course, this is probably going to be out in, like, where the reef is, so it's way out in the darkness zone sort of thing. But I don't know what this place will be like. It's obviously going to have Hive in it. It might have, maybe that's where we're going to fight Oryx if we ever get to that point. I have no idea, but of course, that's a new location. And if this image is real, that's a new location confirmed. And then at the very bottom, you guys may not have noticed this. This is the thing that barely anyone that I know has noticed. Is the fact that at the bottom it says we'll be getting a few things. First of all, we'll be getting 3 new player builds. Now, I believe that player builds will be subclasses. So each class, the Titan, the Warlock, and the Hunter, they're all going to get a brand new subclass to level up, and that is why there is a 3rd subclass slot. If you roll over your subclasses, like you'll see your 2 subclasses that you have, and then you'll see like a spot for a 3rd one. Now that's basically what I believe to be these player builds. So that's quite exciting. I can't wait to see what Bungie do if these are new subclasses. And then we move on to the next one, which says 3 player weapon classes, which obviously means that there's going to be new weapon types added into the game. Now, I'm really excited, again, to see what these weapon types are and what they could do with them. Maybe it's going to be something, this is complete speculation, but maybe it's going to be something like the laser weapons from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, where they have, like, you shoot a directed energy beam, and then it has, like, a cooldown on it. Instead of ammo, it just has a cooldown bar. I think that could be quite interesting, especially for raiding and for strike missions and stuff like that. But, you know, there's 3 player weapon classes, that's sort of just there. And then finally we have the base level cap raised. So at the minute the base level cap is level 20, and then you have to rank up through the light level system. It would appear with this expansion, the Comet expansion, Bungie is going to raise the base level cap to level 30. So you can go all the way up to level 30 without having to use the light level system, as far as I'm aware. Which is a very interesting move. I hope that this will be a solid move, and that maybe, because the light level would technically go up to level 42 there, so that would be a lot higher. They'd have to extend a bunch of the level caps on some of the missions, but again, none of this is confirmed, so we don't know that this is actually real. But now we move on to the final 2 expansions, which we have less information for. The expansion 3 will have something to do with the Vex. We're not too sure about like what to do with the Vex. But we know it's going to be a Vex expansion again, so and of course it's going to contain a new raid, so it's probably going to be another Vex raid. Again, speculation, might not be a Vex raid. This expansion has an unknown release date. We don't know release date for this one yet. Bungie obviously haven't decided on it. But with this we'll be getting 3 new story missions, 2 new strikes, a new raid, and an unknown number of PvP maps. So it looks pretty interesting again. We might be getting a lot of PvP maps. We might just be getting like 3 or 4, like we got in the House of Wolves and the Dark Below. And then finally, we have the Forge of Gods, which is the 4th expansion and probably the final expansion for Destiny 1, which again has an unknown release date, and there's actually no information known about this, except for the fact that I believe that this will be a Cabal expansion, considering that by this point, there will not have been any Cabal expansions. So we've had the Hive, we're getting the Fallen on March, we're getting the Vex again, for the expansion 3, and then I believe that this last one will be the Cabal, and we're probably going to get a Cabal raid, and I'm excited to see what Bungie do with the Cabal, because they're quite an interesting species. But anyways guys, I'm going to end off this video here. I've been blabbering on for quite a while. Hopefully you guys are as excited about this content as I am. If you are, remember to smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for daily gaming content. Remember to follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Twitch, links in the description below, and I'll see you guys in another video. So until then, ciao.